Hi everyone, Heather here from Felt Mercantile, and we are back for day 18 of our DIY Advent Calendar series. If you haven't been following along so far, be sure to check out those past videos as there's tons of good ideas for Christmas decorations, kids' food, everything festive. But today we are going to be making a needle felted snowman ornament, so I will show you what we will need for materials. So since we'll be needing needle felting, I just have my foam block with my fine point needle felting needle. I've also purchased some smooth 1.9-inch foam balls. You don't have to use these guys. You can just use roving, but it does use a lot of material. And this way you'll be maintaining that round shape. It makes it a bit easier. If you do buy foam balls that aren't smooth, they are easier to needle felt into, except it'll be a bit harder to maintain that sphere shape in the end. So I just wanted to buy these to make our lives a little easier. And you will also be needing some white or off-white wool roving, a tiny bit of black wool roving, some orange roving, and for this project, we use just a tiny bit of light pink here. So let me get set up and I will see you in a second. So we are going to start by putting roving over top of our ball. Luckily, we're using white and a white ball, so it is a little forgiving for any spaces that you might have left over. If you're using a different color, I don't know why you would for a snowman, but if you're using a different color of roving for the base, you're probably going to need to use a little bit more. So I'm just pulling off enough that we will be able to stretch it out over this ball. And I just pick a spot and just start stabbing it. That's how needle felting works. So this is basically what we're going to be doing for this whole base piece. It will look like it is taking forever and you're like, is there something I'm doing wrong? But just keep doing this. Eventually it will all smooth out and it will eventually get to the shape you're looking for. You can just keep turning the piece, folding it over so it's smooth on the side, and just get it kind of anchored in there. And then you can go around and finish up the details of the ball. So this is going to take quite a bit of time, so I will cut the video here and I will come back in a second and show you what it's supposed to look like when it's done. See you in a sec. So we have finished our ball. If you have any little, you can always just take your scissors and kind of cut off any stray bits that are hanging off of here, but we're just going to put that to the side for now. So we will start. My goodness, I just fed my cat and she's still whining at me. We're going to start with the orange. We're just going to make his little nose. So you'll just want to bunch this up and start felting just to give it some shape. And we're going to keep turning our piece. Remember, you don't want it to get stuck in the block there. And we're going to just make a little carrot shape, so a little cone. So keep that in mind as you're felting, and pinch, watch your fingers, but you can pinch it a little towards pinch it at the end here, and just do a couple hard pushes in, which will kind of give you more of the shape you're looking for. And this shouldn't take me too long, but let me just finish doing this so you don't have to watch me, and I will show you in a second what we want the finished nose piece to look like. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I have finished the nose piece, the little carrot. Let's see if you can see there on the camera. It's just a little cone shape that you're going to want to be making. And we will put that aside for now, and we're going to start on his little eyeballs. So for this, you're just going to be taking tiny little pieces of black roving, tied in a little knot so we get a little round shape started here. And then we're going to be making tiny little balls. If you have been following along with the series, you already know how to do this because we made a whole bunch of tiny little balls in our cranberry sauce tutorial. So just keep turning your piece so it doesn't get stuck inside your foam block. Like I said, guys, if you don't have the needle felting equipment, just use anything you've got around the house. I just started, my first needle felting project was actually with a toothpick, so it would take a bit longer. You don't get the detail that you're looking for entirely, but I mean, you can do it. You can make it work. So, but these things are pretty cheap to pick up at your local craft store. I'm considering making them available on my website for sale as well. So they're not there now, but keep checking back. If you're watching this video a year from now, I will most definitely have them for sale on my website. So you just want to make tiny little balls, and you can always go around and just cut off any little extra fluffies that are hanging out. And so we're going to need 2 of them for his little eyes, and then I'm going to also make about let's say 6 or 7 for his little mouth. So go ahead and make these balls. I will do the same, and I'll see you in a moment for the next step. Okay, I've finished making all these little balls, so now we're just going to take our foam piece and we're going to attach them. So I like to just line it up where, you know, eyeballs would be. And this would be our first one. You're just going to do 1 hard push down and give it a couple more until it's nice and attached to our foam ball. And then we'll be sticking on the other pieces. So we'll just line up his other little eye. I kind of want to do them spaced close together. And do the same with that. Try not to bend your needle when it's in here because the foam balls are thicker. If you bend your needle at all, it might snap off in there. I've got a couple projects that I've done in the past that definitely have broken needles inside of them. They are obviously not for children's toys anymore after that because you don't need that. Okay, so now that those are kind of attached, we'll just place our nose on there, and I'm just going to go around the outside and needle felt towards the center to attach our nose. I mean, you can always use glue too if you're finding this too difficult, or if you are using a toothpick like I originally suggested, you can just glue them on. But we might as well needle felt because I've got it all set up already. So attach his nose, and they are going to need more work than I'm just showing you in this little in this tutorial section, just because you want them to stay on there pretty good. So and then we take our other little foam balls. I'll put one in the center to mark where we want our mouth to start. You could also just use a thin strip rather than little balls, but I kind of like the look of it this way. And I'm going to put them pretty close together just because, I don't know, I had them spaced out when I was, just before I started filming, and he looked kind of creepy. You could even look at it like that. Leave it like that, little surprised look on the snowman. Or you can keep going with the balls and just, we had that one for the center. I have a number, I got 7 of them, so you should be able to have the 1 for the anchor piece and then 3 on each side. Or you can do 5 or whatever you prefer. But we're just going to go ahead and attach those. And then you can do the one on the other side, just keep it even, and I will come back in a second to show you the next step. Okay, we are back with our happy little snowman dude here. And you could just leave it at that and put a tie on it, which I'll show you how to do in a second. Or if you want to add a bit of extra dimension, I just want to give him little rosy cheeks. So I'm actually, rather than just using this, I'm going to be mixing colors. So this is a good way for you guys to learn how to do this. Just take the 2 or however many colors that you want to mix, and you're just going to want to pull them apart and keep shoving them back together. I'm doing this because that pink color that I had was just a little bit too dark, and I just want to make it a bit lighter. So that's all you have to do to mix colors. And then you get, as you can see, a lighter pink just for his cheeks. So we're not going to make balls for this. We're just going to take a little bit here and, well, make it into kind of a ball shape, but it's going to be more flat. So we're just going to put that here and needle felt into the piece. Make sure you kind of keep that circle shape as you're going along. And that's about it. I'm going to do his other cheek, and I will come back in a second to show you when I'm finished and how to put a tie on it if you'd like to hang it on your tree. All right, see you in a second, guys. And there he is, cute little snowman. So you can really personalize this any way you like. You don't have to add the rosy cheek bits. You can put just 5 little dots here for the mouth. You can give him a little hat. It's your project, you do you. So for strings, what I do, I actually use thread because he's quite light. You don't need something too heavy. And I'm sure you've got a needle by now if you've been following along with the series. I don't actually want to go into the foam, but I'm just going to hide my knot in there. And if you can't hide it well enough, you can just poke that in, needle felt on top of it if it's sticking out too much. Oh my goodness, I stabbed it. We'll just poke that in with our needle. Just be gentle because these needles shouldn't be doing too many thick projects with them. And then all I do is go back in that same hole that I originally put that in there and make sure the end is through, have it the length that you want. And then you're just going to pick up some of this roving on top of the ball, tie off your knot, and you know what, I'll do 4 and we'll hope that it doesn't tie and tangle. Yeah, see what I mean? You gotta do 3 because if you do 4, it's just a little too thick. So tie your knot off there and clip it off. You can poke that end in if it's visible with your needle, or just put a bit more roving over top to hide it. And there we go. Got ourselves a cute little snowman ornament for the tree, and fully customizable. So if you have made this project, I would love to see your versions. Comment below or comment on our Facebook group. We are Felt Mercantile on Facebook. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up below. Leave any comments below for future video suggestions if you have any, because I might just make your pattern. And definitely don't forget to subscribe, hit that alert button, because if I do make your pattern, then you will be able to not miss it. And that's very important. And you'll see all the videos that we've been posting in December and beyond. So thank you again, guys, and we will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.